This is News Hour on Ifako Radio. Good morning. I'm Olanireti, Ololade. The major headlines: 2026 battle. INEC under fire as ADC crisis worsens. 2027. Falana, Adams, one of possible one candidate presidential election. EFCC moves to seize 57 Malami-linked properties. Governors, Dangote commits 66 billion naira to Oluremi Tinubu's food bank. Sports, Remi Tinubu to close 2026 National Para Games. Chelsea announced first ever visit to Lagos. Entertainment, Funama Dukas Palm Trees partners Neon for inaugural screenplay incubator. News in detail. 2027 battle. INEC under fire as ADC crisis worsens. The Independent National Electoral Commission has come under intense criticism following the recognition of the leadership of the African Democratic Congress on Wednesday. Opposition heavyweights and top leaders of the ADC on Thursday condemned the electoral umpire for the decision, accusing the commission of acting under the influence of the All Progressive Congress-led federal government. As a result, they called for the immediate removal of the chairman of INEC, Professor Joash Amukunto. However, in a swift reaction, the electoral umpire dismissed the call for Amukunto's removal. In a statement on Thursday night in Abuja, and signed by the chief press secretary to the INEC chairman, Adidayo Oketola, the commission acknowledged the rights of stakeholders to express their views, but stressed that the separation and leadership structure are constitutionally protected. 2027. Falana, Adams, one of possible one candidate presidential election. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana and the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yorubaland, Gani Adams, on Thursday warned that Nigeria could end up having only one presidential election in 2027 election if the judiciary continues to interfere in political party affairs. They spoke at the 5th Comrade Yinka Odumaki Memorial Lecture held at the Airport Hotel in Ikeja, Lagos. The event had in attendance President of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, activist and publisher of Sahara Reports, Omoyele Sowore, and senior advocate of Nigeria, Olumide Fusika. It was hosted by the president of the Oluyinka Odumaki Foundation, Dr. Joe Odumaki, and was also attended by the executive director of the International Press Center, Mr. Larry Arugundade, other activists, including Agba Jalingo and Richard Akinola. Delivering the memorial lecture, Falana asserted that court orders and conflicting judgments were being used to destabilize political parties and could lead to a situation where only one political party would present a presidential election in 2027 election. He spoke against the backdrop of Wednesday's pronouncement of the Independent National Electoral Commission that it would no longer recognize faction of the African Democratic Congress led by David Mark or Rafiu Bala. The INEC based its decision on a Court of Appeal judgment, which directed the Commission to maintain the status quo pending determination of a suit challenging the legality of David Mark's leadership of the opposition party. EFCC moves to seize 57 Malami-linked properties. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has urged the Federal High Court in Abuja to order the permanent forfeiture of 57 properties allegedly linked to a former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, to the federal government. The anti-graft agency, in a motion on notice filed by its legal team led by Jibrin Okuteba and Ekele Iheanacho, told Justice Joyce Abdul-Malik that the respondents failed to place sufficient materials before the court to justify setting aside the interim forfeiture order earlier granted. The motion marked FHC/ABJ/CS/20/2026 listed Malami, Ajia Bashir Asabe, and Abiru Rahman Abubakar Malami among the respondents, alongside several companies allegedly linked to the assets. The EFCC brought the application pursuant to Section 17 of the Advanced Fee Fraud and Other Fraud-Related Offences Act 2006, seeking a final order of this honorable court forfeiting to the federal government of Nigeria the properties described on the schedule below, which were found by the Commission as properties reasonably suspected to be proceeds of unlawful activities. Governors Dangote commit 66 billion naira to Oluremi Tinubu's food bank. The National Community Food Bank Program received pledges totaling over 66 billion naira on Thursday at its launch and inauguration of the Board of Trustees at the State House Conference Center, Abuja. The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, made the announcement during his keynote address at the event hosted by the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. The Aliko Dangote Foundation led private sector contributions with a 20 billion in-kind commitment over 5 years, followed by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited's pledge of 10 billion naira over the same period. The Emeka Ofo Foundation pledged 500 million naira upfront, while anonymous friends of the First Lady contributed $500,000, approximately 750 million naira at current exchange rates. Faith announced that President Bola Tinubu approved the special intervention of 17 billion naira through the Social Action Fund to support the program. His Excellency, Mr. President, has already approved the special intervention of 17 billion naira through the Social Action Fund that will procure using the community-based procurement platform in each of the wards of our country, using a simplified procurement mechanism to buy locally, Faith stated. Easter. Gridlock leaves motorists stranded on Abuja-Lokoja Highway. A massive gridlock has left several vehicles stranded for hours on the Abuja-Lokoja Highway ahead of the Easter holidays. It was observed on Friday that the traffic build-up, described as a recurring phenomenon during festive periods, has left motorists stranded for hours on the busy routes linking the Federal Capital Territory to parts of the North, Central, and Southern region. A similar situation was recorded in December, when several motorists reportedly spent up to 4 days on the road. Some of the stranded motorists blamed the gridlock on impatience among drivers and the poor condition of sections of the road, which have been under construction for over 20 years. One of the travelers, Abdul Yakim, who worked in Abuja and was heading to Ibadan, said he had experienced the situation repeatedly. He noted that he had been unlucky to suffer the gridlock for the past 2 years, while traveling home during Christmas and Easter holidays. Sports. Remi Tinubu to close 2026 National Para Games. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu is set to grace the closing ceremony of the third edition of the National Para Games at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja today. The National Sports Commission confirmed on Thursday that the First Lady, a long-standing advocate and supporter of para sports in Nigeria, will serve as a special guest of honor as the games conclude on Friday in the main bowl of the stadium. Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has confirmed her presence to grace the closing ceremony of the third edition of the National Para Games, the NSC statement read. She is the special guest of honor as the games come to an exciting end on Friday inside the main bowl of the Abuja National Stadium. Chelsea announced first ever visit to Lagos. Chelsea has announced plans to visit Lagos for the first time in the club's history as part of their global fan engagement initiative, the famous CFC, later this May. The Premier League side confirmed on Thursday that the Nigerian city will host the penultimate event of the 2025-2026 program, with a visit organized in partnership with M Sports, the club's official betting partner in Africa. Former Chelsea and Super Eagles forward Victor Moses is set to headline the event, where he will interact with fans across a series of activities designed. Entertainment. Funama Dukas Palm Trees partners Neon for inaugural screenplay incubator. Palm Trees, a screenplay development incubator created by Funama Dukas for writers from Africa, the Middle East, Latin America, Southeast Asia, the Caribbean, and Oceanic, has entered a partnership with Neon for its inaugural cohort. In a recent statement, the incubator made calls for writers from eligible regions to apply with a treatment on the first 15 pages of a feature-length genre screenplay. Those selected by the incubator will develop on their script through intensive one-on-one work with dedicated story analysts. Writers are compensated for their participation throughout the program. The program culminates in a 3-week in-person residency. Recap of the major headlines. 2027 battle. INEC under fire as ADC crisis worsens. 2027. Falano, Adams, one of possible one-candidate presidential election. EFCC moves to 657 Malami-linked properties. Governors. Dangote commits 6 billion naira to Oluremi Tinubu's food bank. Sports. Remi Tinubu to close 2026 National Para Games. Chelsea announced first ever visit to Lagos. Entertainment. Funama the Cat Palm Trees partners Neon for inaugural screenplay incubator. Follow us on all our social media handles: Facebook at Ifako Radio, WhatsApp at Ifako Radio, YouTube at Ifako Radio, X at Ifako Radio, TikTok at Ifako Radio, Instagram at Ifako_radio. For news reporting, contact us at ifakoradio@gmail.com or call our WhatsApp 091 2222 7433. Special thanks to the news producer Olanireti. Thanks for watching. I'm Olanireti Ololade. Have a wonderful weekend. God bless Ifako.